Stosh vlog fans. Stosh back after a long one. Of course, I talk about weird stuff in this channel, so you know, we gotta go into the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Huge story that will probably go away after it floods the airwaves for a while. So he was charged on July 8th with 1 count of sex trafficking. But the gossip behind the Epstein story is probably the biggest thing since, I don't know, JFK assassination, conspiracy-wise. Inmate 763-18054. So he was at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. This is not a news channel, so I'm just going by how I recall this, hearing the story. There had already been one suicide attempt, and then finally, allegedly, he succeeded on August the 10th. What is that? Last Sunday. So Alexander Costa, the Labor Secretary, resigned because he said that of the way he handled the case, and that he had to back off because Mr. Epstein was allegedly tied to, he was told to back off because of Epstein's ties to intelligence, but he doesn't say what intelligence service it was. Way back in '87, he tried to unsuccessfully take over Pan Am, which is wild. One of his clients was Adnan Khashoggi, the arms dealer that I made a YouTube on, that was way back once considered the richest man in the world for a little while. Arms dealer. So he was with Bear Stearns. He advised the Edgar Brofman of the Seagrams. And he's been, so he was a teacher. The father of the current Attorney General Donald Barr hired him, and his financial career is extensive, but his success is murky, some people say. It's been said. Hedge fund guy. And he apparently, it's indicating here via Wikipedia, in 2008, he lost a lot of money in investing with Bear Stearns. Okay, so and then you know, he's been in the news a long time on the side that he was, you know, convicted or whatnot. There's Miami Herald news reporter Miss Brown that really covered the case. He had a massive mansion on 9th East 71st Street in Manhattan. And an island. The guy had an island. I'm going to leave in the liner notes that there's some interesting drone footage. He now Acosta mentioned something about I couldn't touch him, couldn't get to him because he was tied to intelligence. That's been said. I think Zero Hedge reported on that. Although which one he was with is not written in stone. He was had a long-term girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, the daughter of the disgraced media baron Robert Maxwell. Maxwell is more noted for the being kind of a Rupert Murdoch kind of guy over in London, tabloid newspaper media baron, and he stole the pension fund. However, what is much less known was that on behalf of the Israeli intelligence, he sold the Promise, the famous, infamous Promise software that I've talked about before when I did a vlog on the Danny Casolaro, the writer who committed suicide because he was covering Inslaw, which was the software, that was the company that made the Promise software, and the guy's name, the Hamiltons, Mr. Hamilton. They developed the super software, and allegedly, according to Ari Ben Menashe, an alleged ex-Mossad guy, and Gordon Thomas wrote a big book on Robert Maxwell, contending that Maxwell used his connections and was an awesome spy. So that's why they're thinking maybe Epstein was tied to that organization, and thus, because it's how do you pronounce her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. Now she is she was reported to allegedly be hiding out. Jeez, I can't talk tonight. This is the late night star show. Hiding out in Manchester by the Sea, which I did another YouTube thing on. And then she was found crossing the West Coast at In-N-Out Burger, reading a book about dead CIA guys. When I read Roll of Honor or something. So she's a socialite. She had a difficult breakup with Count Gianfranco Ciganova of the Signa Hotels clan. So it's been sort of said, well, she was Epstein's girlfriend, but until she was a normal age to be dating him, and she got a little too old for him, basically. So there's there was a young woman who managed to get photographed with Prince Andrew. The whole thing behind Epstein is his island, his Lolita Express was the aircraft, and his private island became known famously as Pedophile Island because of the sex trafficking. There's been photographs of it that are bizarre, like a temple formation, and some great drone shots of it. And the weirdness continues. Who's on the list? It's a who's who of the most powerful guys in the world. So Robert Maxwell's daughter, Ghislaine, that's the name of the, jeez, I can't pronounce her name. Ghislaine. Sorry. She's actually still a good-looking lady at 57 years old. And she's into saving the oceans, the environment. So, the Mirror Group. Her father is definitely was definitely himself, kind of an Epstein of his day in the financial theft of his newspaper and and knowing everybody in the world. Huge ties. I think he was a friend of Arm and Hammer or something, and he was a friend of all the different, allegedly the mob people, the intelligence people. And according to author Gordon Thomas, who wrote a bestseller on the death of Robert Maxwell, he contended that his death in the boat on his yacht, the same name as the daughter, the Ghislaine. Am I saying it right? How could I not say Ghislaine Maxwell? She had a lot of brothers and sisters. I think she was the youngest, and she seems to be the only one who's done anything interesting, even though it's if convicted, she's obviously incredibly evil. Woman, person, supplying Epstein with underage woman. I think the woman's name, yeah, Maria Farmer. She's the young blonde woman who is pictured with Prince Andrew. Obviously, the British newspapers or other newspapers, whatever, the press has gone nuts and asked questions about Prince Andrew, and she's like, the Queen's like, no answering, no, we're not going to, we're not going to comment. Just as Miss Maxwell strongly denies the allegations of unsavory nature, which appeared. She has denied that she has facilitated Prince Andrew's acts of sexual abuse. And reserves her right to redress at the reputation of such old defamatory claims. So it's, yeah, Julie K. Brown of the Miami Herald. Has really stayed with this case. Miss Maxwell has called anybody, Virginia Roberts. One of the names of girls is Virginia Roberts, and that's 2015. Sarah Ransom, she also romantically linked to Ted Wyatt of the Gateway Computers. I would imagine she'll get a boatload of lawyers and get out of this one. I haven't seen too many YouTubes about this, but the Telmar project, that was her. I usually don't read from notes, but this is a complicated case. The Telmar project was her climate change thing. So, I guess my 2 cents I added was about the father, who was a allegedly very successful espionage operative. There was the FBI has entered the island, and I believe there was a fire there. So who knows what evidence has been destroyed or what's up with that. But another key figure is he won the favor of a Mr. Wexner, who is the billionaire who owns the Victoria's Secret, popular Victoria's Secret. He managed his wealth, his yacht, the Limitless. Quite an interesting guy. He's actually from Seagate in Brooklyn, New York. His father just worked at the departments of Parks and Recreation in New York City. And his mother was a school aide. So they were just kind of regular people. I guess Jeffrey, was more of a serious dude, and he ended up in doing financial stuff, working with Adnan Khashoggi. He had ties to intelligence, and he was involved in the infamous Iran-Contra affair. So his crimes allegedly go back to first cases go back to way back to 2005. His defense lawyers are a guy Roy Black, Gerald Lefcourt, a Harvard University law guy Alan Dershowitz, who has also been accused by some of the underage or very young women. Ken Starr, wow. Didn't he go after Bill Clinton? What the hell? So it's a who's who of important people. Now, a lot. Obviously, Bill Clinton. There was a artwork of him in a blue dress in Epstein's residence, and he's been photographed with the prince. And with Bill Clinton and with Trump. However, as the story goes, Trump did. It is said that he kicked him out of his Mar-a-Lago mansion when he was accused of harassing or wrongdoing with the young lady there, and I think she's the one who is one of the ones that are bringing the case. So Trump reportedly banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club. Of course, everything is a left-right battle, Democrat-Republican battle. So a lot of people saying, well, Trump is Epstein's friend. Of course, the right-wing people are saying it's Clinton. Clinton is the main guy. Clinton, I think, is the one with the most documented trips on the Lolita Express. Trump said, I knew him like I knew everybody in Palm Beach knew him. Stated 4 times he had not been a fan of Epstein and he had not spoken to him for 15 years. So Trump says he wasn't a fan. Clinton says he lauded Epstein as a committed philanthropist with insights and generosity. So if you're talking about the sensationalists, then they're saying that it's an Illuminati. It's Illuminati island, and they're all there. For the record, I would say that any meaningful prosecution of the guy has occurred during the duration of the Trump presidency. But hey, I don't know. Maybe more will come out. We'll find that. That's what I got to say. So far, that's what they're saying. Now they're trying to say that Trump didn't kick him out of Mar-a-Lago as forcefully or whatever. I don't know. There's a little spin on that. Trump's also in a picture with Maxwell's daughter, but he looks pissed at her. Myself, that was my impression. But whatever. Let me know in the liner notes what you think. Is it all of them? Stephen Hawking was there or something? Epstein donated billions of dollars to Harvard University. Of course, Harvard University is wonderful. They would never do anything wrong or take badness. They would not be connected to badness. He had a strong interest in improving the human race through the use of genetic engineering and artificial intelligence, including using his own sperm. I think there's another story that he wanted to impregnate 20 women or something. Yeah, there we go. Seed the human race with his DNA by impregnating up to 20 women at a time using his New Mexico compound as a baby ranch. So this freak is like a James Bond guy. This is definitely, that's what I say, it's definitely involving intelligence stuff. He was an advocate of cryogenics and his own idiosyncratic version of transhumanism. And he said that he intended to have his penis and his head frozen. That's very Dr. No. I've never seen a guy, he's like a James Bond character. The circumstances surrounding the death quickly spawned conspiracy theories about it. And President Trump has retweeted one suggestion. It's Bill Clinton. Of course, the Bill Clinton people went nuts. But hey, Juanita Broderick and many women have come forward. What can I say? And yeah, there's a. I think Epstein had another painting drawn of himself in a prison garb and stuff. Of course, he gave a lot of money to Harvard. Harvard University has announced that it will not return any money. Because they won't. Because it's Harvard. And Harvard is like NPR. Everybody speaks nice. And they do no wrong. They're not going to give back the Epstein money. As a matter of fact, they want to cryogenically freeze their own heads. So he back in 2011 he contested an appeal to stay registered as a level 3 sex offender, a late non-designation, and he fought Manhattan District Attorney argued unsuccessful that the level should be reduced to a low risk 1. So he had to check in every 90 days, even though he had a giant island. So U.S. Attorney, he's the Labor Secretary, he resigned there, but of course he was speaking about his days as the when he was district attorney. U.S. Attorney Acosta gave Epstein a deal of a lifetime. Following Epstein's arrest in July 2019, Acosta resigned as Secretary of Labor. Now, but, I mean, Acosta said, hey, I was told to lay off. This guy's got intelligence ties. And his girlfriend, Ghislaine. Father had alleged heavy intelligence ties. Epstein had millions stored in offshore Swiss accounts. Wow. Yeah, again, I don't usually read at the same time as I'm on here. I usually try to vlog from my own powerful mind, but this case is so massive. Now, if you're saying I'm being conspiratorial or whatever, I'm simply reading from one of the worst sources. No, I shouldn't say so. Well, you know, it's okay. It is what it is. It's Wikipedia usually has references, so it's not that bad. Though it's a little bit plain toast. The only part that's left out of here is or the only thing you might have got from this long vlog of any interest that I added was that of Robert Maxwell, who was equally as fascinating back in his day. So his daughter is also now becoming worldwide famous again, woman of mystery. He had a bodyguard who was a UFC fighter from Russia, who retracted it but said he was nasty, and he had a lot of teenage girlfriends. It is also reported that during this last stretch in Manhattan at the jail, that he was visited by a very young-looking, attractive woman, and be given time in a private room somehow. I'll leave that in the liner notes. That's like a zero hedge thing. His Manhattan home was so big the Iranian government had it taken over by the State Department during the Iranian Revolution. So I guess the government was there. The Villian house. No, that's where he rented. I'm sorry. Okay. Never mind. Nevertheless, his Manhattan residence was incredibly impressive, and it had the screwy-looking painting of Bill Clinton. And I think there's another one of Bush flying paper airplanes and looking extremely strange. His death has fomented conspiracy theories. Preet Batra says a video of his death likely exists. Obviously, they blame it on some low-level corrections officers. Just like they blame the whole Iraq war on, they fucked up with the weapons of mass destruction, and they blamed it all on the girl with the what the heck was her name? You know, she. Oh, never mind. I don't know. She was from Kentucky. She was holding the guy. On a leash. Can't remember her name, but she was a low-level corporal at the best, private, whatever. Comedian actor Alec Baldwin said the Russians killed Epstein. I don't know why they would do that. If they're our enemy, he's making America look like shit. So I don't know how they would benefit that. I think they would benefit from him being alive and naming names and making the American power structure look disgusting. I've seen some clever Photoshop things. I don't know, that it's not him, that the man on the gurney, the body looks different than his. If there ever was something where you would use Mission Impossible kind of agency, CIA, MI6, Mossad type of rubber mask and stuff, this would be the case. This is going to be my longest blog, because this is a good one. Dave Bautista said it was the Russian. So people are making it, like I said, cable news host Joe Scarborough implied Russians killed Epstein to protect Trump. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what okay. That's their logic. All right. Dave Bautista, said the Russian student, he's the big wrestler. Excellent actor as well. In any case, all these people who are big stars and stuff, they are indeed kind of feeding into the conspiracy thing. He only met Epstein on 6 occasions, Bill Clinton says. 4 multiple stop trips to on Epstein's private jet and a trip to Epstein's Harlem office. According to flight minister. See, I've heard that he was on many more times than 6, so I don't know. Virginia, last name Giuffre. Visited Epstein's Little St. James Island. So, soon after Epstein's death, Clinton body count was trending on Twitter. How are you liking this long Stosh vlog? Well, anyway, I don't know. Is this good coverage? You can definitely fall asleep listening to this. So it's yeah, after the Clinton hashtag, they countered with Trump hashtag, I think. Former Senator Marco Rubio alleged that the Russian bots were spreading Epstein conspiracy theories to create their own narrative and divide Americans. I don't think Epstein has anything to do with the Russians. That's just my opinion here in the Stosh vlog. I'm sorry, Joe Scarborough. And Epstein had a ranch in New Mexico, too. But it's interesting to see if Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be able to get out of this one. My guess is she'll probably hire some fantastic attorneys. Or will she go missing again? They found her at In-N-Out Burger. Alright, well, that's all I got on this. Let me know in the liner notes what you think. This is, again, the longest Stosh vlog I've done in a long time. What information do you have on inmate 763-18054? Anyway, either way, it's terrible what happened to the women involved, and maybe Epstein getting busted on this will, they'll do more about this horrible stuff. Anyway, if this wasn't good enough, check out, Alex Jones or something. No. I hope I added something new. Ramble. Alright. Well, let me know in the comment notes what you think, huh? Alright, this has been another Stosh vlog. Peace. God bless you. Take care, everybody. Take care.